What is going on, everybody? Hocus Pocus here. Welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. This is actually episode 3, so let me just first apologise. I recorded episode 2 and I recorded episode 3. Then whilst I was editing them both, I realised that the episode 2 footage actually got corrupted. So I just pushed episode 3 forward. Sorry about that, you guys. It's been a week of bad luck for this channel. So hopefully we can get things back on track now. We should be able to. Everything should be smooth from here on out. But since we did miss episode 2, let me just quickly take you down to the mine, which is what we worked on in episode 2. I just want to quickly give you a little tour of it. So this is what it looks like. As you enter, you have some chests on the right. I haven't stored anything in them yet. You have a crafting bench on the left. And then also on the right hand side of the wall, you have a few furnaces, 9 in total. And that just makes up a basic station for us to utilize when we're down here mining. So I mentioned any overflow, redstone, lapis, coal, etc. we can put in these chests and put some item frames on them to identify which chest holds what item. And the furnaces are basically just for smelting up any loot that we manage to pull out of the mine. So if we go around the corner here, you'll notice I use the oak leaves on the roof as well, just for the nature theme that I want to go with. I mentioned that I did want to go with it in the old Let's Play cave, but instead now obviously we have this new world, so maybe we can carry the theme on in this world as well, as I think it looks quite nice, honestly. So once you get around the corner, you can come down the stairs, and this is our shaft here. So this three wide hallway here is the main shaft, and we're just going to be branching off at four block intervals. So you have one branch, then 1, 2, 3, 4, another branch, 1, 2, 3, 4, another branch. I did used to mine with a 3 block interval, 2 blocks in between each shaft, but I feel like 3 makes more sense because most veins have 4 block coverage. So you have let's say for example you find some iron, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and then 3, 4 diagonally behind it. So you'll see that on either side anyway, so it seems a bit pointless to mine out that extra block. Not that it matters too much anyway, you'll probably find similar amounts of stuff regardless of how often you space out your shafts. I just wanted to mention that in case you're wondering why. So anyway guys, that's it for the mining area so far. We obviously need to come up with a design for the shaft itself and clean up this section, but this entrance is the finished product, so I hope you like it. And that's exactly what we worked on in episode 2, just in case you wanted to know what was in the chest. Just a bunch of junk. So heading upstairs, you'll notice a few things have changed since episode 3. Sorry, episode 2, episode 3 that I pushed forward to episode 2. I have actually built myself an AFK fishing farm in between episodes, which I've been using to gain a few things. Everything that we've looted from it is in this chest. I'm pretty much looking for a mending book at this point, but so far the best pull is probably this looting book here. We'll probably stick that on a sword at some point. We managed to get this rod by combining a few of the rods that we fished out of there. So that is that really, and also I've converted to salmon for the time being as our food source. So in terms of what we're going to work on in this episode, guys, I actually had been thinking last night after playing for a while that we've got this area down below here if you mine out these blocks, and I think I actually want to take advantage of that. So when you build bases, I think it always looks best when you have like things like balconies and areas that branch off into multiple directions. So I think what we can do is we can start to tear out this wall and have a balcony type build here that looks down onto this area of the base, or the cave for now, that we will turn into the base in the future, so that when we do come round to building down there, it looks cool, you know, our base looks a bit more open and expansive. So I think that's what I'm going to work on today. I'm going to get a bit more done up here in the main part of the base, the entrance area, and we're also going to convert this section into a balcony. But before I jump off camera here, guys, let me just show you one more thing. I did a few more enchantments and managed to pick up this, an efficiency 4, fortune 3, unbreaking 3 pickaxe, which is great. As soon as we get a mending book, I'll combine these two to get an efficiency 5, fortune 3, unbreaking 3 mending pickaxe, and we should be set then. So yeah, hopefully we can get that mending book soon. Anyway guys, I'm going to jump off camera here. I'm going to work a little bit over there behind the fishing farm on getting a balcony type thing built, and once I have that up and running, I will rejoin you and we can check it out. So catch you in a second. Welcome back, guys. Yeah, I've dug out a little bit here, sort of tried to go as natural as I possibly could with the terrain. So only in places where it was sort of an overhang like we have here, I've carved it out. I've tried to keep things uniform around the sides here so that we can actually organize some sort of walkway that goes around it. If any of this isn't making sense to you, then it probably will once the build is actually finished. But I thought I'd bring you guys back in so I could discuss a few of the ideas I had about making this work, because, you know, at the moment it's a little bit of a mess. So let's get back out of this hole. So this is sort of the this is the gap that I want to leave open to have the balcony going around it. And the balcony I want to sort of extend all the way around this corner, like so. So I think in order to make that work, we're going to have to make a few changes where the door is. And obviously that wasn't going to stay the way it is for the future anyway. So let's take some of the dark oak. I think if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put another pillar in the middle here. Split this off into 2 sections. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side and a 5 gap on this side. Then I think we should actually extend this out. So carve out 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5 there, I think. We don't have to put in all the design work right now, as obviously I've got you guys on camera with me, so I'll make this as quick as possible. Just put a bit of lighting in there. And then I think we should take it out again this way. So if we knock this wall through, we are now looking over the area where I want the balcony to be. And this again has actually prompted me to have another thought. We should probably dig out another row of blocks here. And just make the balcony run from wooden pillar to wooden pillar, so it can be sort of like a square. So if it runs from there to this corner to this corner to this corner, we can sort of make this opening a square, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm getting this across very well, but I will try and demonstrate what I'm gonna end up building here. So if we place back this stone slab work there, the stone slabs are gonna run all the way to this end, all the way to. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in here there will be another oak pillar, and then we'll have another break here. I don't know how wide this is. Is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's not going to be a square exactly. It's going to be a 5 by 7 rectangle. So if we open this all the way out, we'll have another wooden pillar here. All right, Cal, you're seriously getting on my nerves. Let's go down there. Okay, I thought he died then, but he's fine. So I don't know if you're getting the picture now, but the fence is going to run from this wooden pillar to that wooden pillar, so along these blocks here. It's then going to run from this wooden pillar to that wooden pillar, so along these blocks here, and then from this pillar to that pillar along those blocks there. So essentially we're going to have a rectangle that is fenced off, and again we're probably going to have to run the stone slabs across this gap as well so that we can fence off this section, and then it sort of, in that case, will act like a balcony, so we can come up to the fence, look over the edge, and it just looks down into another part of our base, which I think would be pretty cool, actually. So, once again, guys, I think I will jump off camera, get the majority of the work done, and then rejoin you once it's time to do the design, or it's time to finish up the design. I'll decide once I get there, so catch you in a second. Okay guys, we are back, and if you didn't get the general idea of what I was speaking about in the last section, then you might do now based on what I've built. So as you can see, the base now expands out in this direction. So we go another 5 blocks this way, and we've got an 11 block run this way. And of course, this 7 by 5 rectangle here is the balcony area that I mentioned earlier that overlooks a lower section of the cave that we will later expand our base into. So I think what I'm going to do with you guys now while I have you on camera is just do a bit of the design work again, just to remind you how I do it. I mean, you've probably seen this a ton of times now, but just in case some of you are new around here, you can just take a little look at how I design my walls in this way. So essentially we have this palette of blocks that you can see in my hotbar. It's just a bunch of grey textures really. And what I do is I just, as randomly as possible, throw them around on the wall like I am at the moment. And then pretty much what I do is, once I get to the end where I've placed some of each block type, I will just fill in the gaps that remain with blocks that will look fine in the position that they're in. So for those of you who haven't been around for long, I try not to leave any patterns. So any blocks that so let's say we had an andesite here and andesite here, which we do. For example, if there was another andesite here, I'd probably remove one of them because I don't like to have 3 diagonals in a row. I try not to have too many patterns. 2 next to each other like this or a diagonal like that is fine, but I don't like to go 3 in a row diagonal if I can help it. So if I spot one of those, I'll probably remove it. That's one rule that I tend to go by. And then also another rule that I tend to use is to try and be scarce with the polished andesite, because that texture tends to stick out a lot compared to the rest. So as you can see, I tend to go with about 3, maybe 2 on a 5x5. Here in this one we have 4, but I think it looks okay like that, as long as you space them out. But as I said, I tend not to go with too many polished because it does stick out as a texture, so that's why you don't see as much of that in the walls as you do the rest of the blocks. But as for this wall, we need to finish up this section here, so I usually look around the holes and just see which blocks we've already used in the area. So you can see we got a couple of gravel, so there's no use really putting gravel there. I mean, we could actually, yeah, we will go with gravel there. That's a bit of a lie, because that I do like that, to have that sometimes where you have a 2 gravel and then the diagonal coming off of it. So I think that's fine as long as you don't do it too much in the same section of wall. So now we need to think about what we're going to put in here, and I think andesite would be the perfect option because there isn't one adjacent to it, only diagonal to it. So that works out fine. Then we can just stick a torch there, remove this one. And as you can see, that's how the finished product looks. So in my opinion, this is probably one of the best wall designs I've came up with. It looks a lot better than just going with a single color. That's why I like it so much. So as just a single block texture all across the wall, I think sometimes can look bland. It does look good on occasion, so don't think that I'm telling you not to do that or not to use it, because I do think that you can make it work. I just prefer to, where I can, mix up a few textures like so, just for a bit of differentiation, honestly, just so that you know, as I said, I'm not having just walls of flat textures like some builds tend to turn into. So here again we have another gap. Probably gonna go with, I mean, gravel. Would gravel work there? We have got a ton of it in that area, but I think that works actually. So let's go with the torch. It's very difficult to get this wrong, if I'm honest with you guys. Most combinations work well. So I mean, you're never likely to reproduce the same combination, but you know what I mean. Every pattern that you eventually come up with tends to work well. So just be don't think too much about it if this is what you want to do. That's my one tip. Just basically, if you see a gap where you think things will look good, just place it, and then over time you'll get used to identifying where good places to place blocks are and where bad places to place blocks are, and it just tends to get a lot easier with time, is basically what I'm saying. So there you go, we got another one done there, nice and quickly, nice and easily. So now all of these walls here are complete, and as you can see, I've actually filled out a bit of space in the ceiling for us to do some work. So I'm hoping I have some leaves left over in the chests here. Perfect, so you have a stack and a half there. I'm going to do a similar style that I did in the cave in our old world. So first of all, you just want to layer some leaves across the top. Let me just eat so that I don't keep pretending to eat rather than placing blocks. So you want to go with a flat roof of leaves here, flat ceiling of leaves. And then once you have that, you can start making things a bit more dynamic. So at the most, you want these leaf blocks to come down three spaces. So that's the first one. This block will be the second, and then this block will be the third. So let's just do a couple of areas here that will have two long. What am I trying to say here? 2 tall leaf drop downs. Like so. So we want the majority of this to be like that. So that probably works. And then you just want to make a few of them into three tall, like so. And then it works out to create quite a nice pattern, I think. So this is what it will look like eventually. I think we'll actually replace that one. How am I going to do this? Maybe knock the middle out there and go there instead. Oh, we look a bit imbalanced on this side now, so let's do that maybe. Yeah, that looks a bit better. So you want to try and get it as balanced as possible. So you don't want all of the 3 to be on one side, and you don't want all of the 2 to be on another. You want to try and get it as balanced as possible, as I say. And it can be done quite easily. So then eventually you'll get something like this where the leaves drop down, and it's kind of like it's kind of like how willow trees look. So the leaves sort of swoop over and dangle down like this. Actually, looking at it, you know, I don't know if I like it. Which sounds stupid, because I'm telling you this very confidently, like it will make our base look great, and yeah, I'm actually unsure whether I like this or not. It looked really good when I built it in the melon and pumpkin farm in the last Let's Play, but here just doesn't have the same touch. If I grab the shears a second, just take one layer off, maybe it'll look better. So Let's grab the shears here. Just take a layer of leaves off. And that might make it look a little bit better. If we can shape it up a little bit as well like that. Give it a few gaps. Does that look better? Yeah, you know what? I think I like that actually. I think I like the two maximum drop down. But then this is sort of pattern. So maybe if we just turn it into a pattern, get rid of that one. Yeah, I think... Do I like that? Let me just get a look at it. Yeah, I do. I think I do like that actually, you know, guys. I think I quite like the... even though it's patterned and not random, I quite like it. So maybe we'll go with that instead of the three length leaves that I mentioned earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to transfer this design over to this section of the base as well. We're going to have to get some fence posts in, which we can do with each other on camera right now actually. That should be relatively straightforward. Let's just create a bunch of those. Easy does it. Then we can just place those across here and across here. Obviously our AFK fish farm is going to be moved soon as well. I'll probably tear that thing down shortly. As for these sections, they don't really need the fences because, you know, that's just the design. We're never going to walk around that part of the base, so they can stay as they are, I think. So now this is the balcony. You can look over it onto the bottom section of our base, or a lower section I should say, of our base. You can actually see down there is where I've been doing the enchanting, so it sort of wraps around, it goes down over there, comes around this way, and then back that way. So once we've expanded into this area, this is going to look quite cool, I think. So let me transpose this design work over to this side of the base as well. And once I've done that, I'll rejoin you and we can check out the finished product. Okie dokie then, guys, we are back once more, and let me show you what progress we've made. So this is how the entrance area of our base is looking, and I think it looks quite clean now and quite nice. So I'm pretty proud of what we've got done here. So as you can see, we've got the leaf design now on this ceiling and on this ceiling. I did actually at one point join them together in this gap here, but there was just something that didn't look right about it, so I revoked that and just kept their own separate lines of leaf ceiling tiles, I guess. So yeah, as I said, I've separated them again now, and I think it looks a lot better than when they joined. I think it's because this one's so skinny. It's only 3 blocks wide. It just doesn't look right connecting to this, what is this, 5 block wide leaf section. So I think leaving them separate is the better way to go. And of course now our little balcony area is looking like this. So you can look down into this area of the base. We've already looked at this, but just wanted to give you guys another look at it. And we have... yeah, basically just cleaned everything up. We got a floor in place, we got our ceiling in place, and everything is looking groovy. So now that we've done that, I do want to put a few things in here, because as you can see, all of this room is just walls. There isn't any functionality or any use to it. So I think over here in these 2 walls, we're going to actually make use of them. And by that I mean we are going to stick some storage in there. So we're going to have chests. Where are we going to put them? Here, let me think about this for a sec. We're going to have chests in here and in here, but do I want them to go... do I want them to be sideways, or do I want them to be... now I've got to make a decision, you guys, and it's going to be a tough one to make, I must say. How do we do this is the question. Because if you don't know what my thought process here is, do I want the chest to be this way, so one chest there, making a double chest facing me, and they go all the way to the roof? Or do I want them to be facing this way but shuffled into the wall so that we can fit more in? When I choose to use the second option, where they're facing this way and shuffled into the wall, I do like to have a way to notify myself what each chest is holding. So we could do that using signs, but the problem there remains that we are going to have... I mean, I guess yeah, we could just go for it and have a double set of chests. I think that's what we're going to go for here, actually. So let me just start tearing this out before I think about it too much. Probably should keep an eye, actually, on the design here. So what was that? Was it like that? I guess that makes sense, right? Because I do just essentially want to push this back one. So what did we have there? We had you, and then you. Can't remember if I'm actually doing this right or not, but I'm going to try my hardest to maintain the design work. So we want to push a cobble back there. There already is one. That's good. Then we can have a cracked and a gravel. Cracked. Let's actually get some of this stuff out so we can make space. And then we want to go polished, cracked, polished, cracked. So it was polished, cracked. Then this middle column is going to stay as it is. For now, we probably will replace it with something else, maybe fence posts, but for now it's going to stay the same. So we've got a cracked there, that needs to go back 1 block. We've got a cobble there, that needs to go in there. Polished, cobble, and cracked right at the top there. So if you just see what I'm doing here, I'm just maintaining the wall design because I want it to... actually, you know what? We're going to have to push it another step back. I've done that all wrong. We're going to have to push it another step back, you guys. So let me just quickly do that here. Yeah, but as I was saying, I want to maintain the design because chests are semi-transparent, you know. Well, they're not transparent, but they don't take up a full block, so you can actually see around them. So I want to make sure that if we can see behind the chest, then we're going to see the design rather than just messy stone walls. So that's what I'm attempting here. I'm just attempting to maintain some sort of pleasing aesthetic so that we aren't looking at basically trash once we put the chests in. Right, so now that we move that side back, this side needs to go back also. So let's put down cobble, andesite, cracked in the middle. Another cobble, andesite at the top. Put andesite, cobble. Cobble, cracked, and gravel. Should be easy to do. So cobble, cracked, gravel, polished, cracked, polished, and cracked. There we go. So now that we've moved those back, we need to organize some sort of floor for the chest to stand on. So let's tear this out. Go and grab ourselves some stone slabs. Oh yeah, also I just organized this chest. Don't know why, just felt the need to. And that's what it looks like now. It looks a lot better in my opinion. Just a quick side note. So let's place down the stone slabs here like so, nice and easy. That's where the chests are going to sit. So they're going to be facing probably this way. So one chest there, one chest there. If you can get your head around that. Here we're going to need to put in some design. So let's tear that out. We're going to also need to tear this side out and do the same here. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's a very small area, and when you're working with small areas, it's a lot more simple than when you're working with large areas, so that'll be nice and easy. Let us put in some slabs there, but we're only going to place one because the chest will not be able to open if we don't. So that's the idea behind that. So let's get those in, just 4 slabs on the ceiling, like so. Now we're going to have to get ourselves the required materials to create our wall design. So we're going to need some andesite. We're going to need some cracked stone brick, which we don't have a lot of. We're going to need some polished andesite and also some gravel, which we have right there. Let me stick a few of these in the furnace just to cook up so that we can create some more craft stone bricks. Oh, I've got an ND. Should I take him out? I'm going to take him out. Come on, give me some pearls. Oh god, give me some pearls. Come on, there we go, very nice. Only one, but it was worth it, I reckon. Okay, so back to what I was doing. I was cooking up some stone bricks. And if you guys don't know how to make cracked stone bricks, it's something that I didn't actually know how to make in the first place, but I looked it up. You just have to smelt regular stone bricks and they turn into cracked. So there's a tip for you if you ever want to make those. I also am going to need some more smooth, or some more polished andesite, I should say, because we're going to use that in the central column here. So let's tear out that column. And we're going to put it one back because we're going to have what do you call them? Fence posts in the middle, I believe. So let's put a row like that. Then we're going to have we'll go with you there and you there, just to make things a little bit different in the center there. Okay, so now let's go grab our cracked stone bricks. We should have enough now to do the design. So all we need to do is fill in these areas, so let's just do that very quickly. Shouldn't be too difficult here, like that. There, and then one more. No, that's too much cobble. Can we do andesite? Yeah, andesite works. So there we go, that's that wall filled in. Now we need to do the same over here. So cobble, 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 andesite, andesite, cracked stone, polished, gravel, gravel. Wait, did we even put gravel on this side? We didn't, did we? We can tear a bit of that out then, put a bit of gravel in there maybe. And probably up the top as well, just so that we don't have too much andesite. There we go, that looks good. So now we need our fence posts and our chests. So how many chests are we going to need for this? We're going to need 4 for each each layer. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Times 2 is 40. So that's going to be 80 wood for that. So we've got 64 there. Let's just count that to 60. That makes it a bit easier. Then we can count another 20 out here. There we go. So that and that should be enough wood for the required amount of chests for just that section of chests. And we're also going to be creating another one. So that's kind of crazy, right? It's a lot of wood. Anyway, it's worth doing because you need storage. Storage is key. So here, we're going to place chest, 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 chest. Whoops. You actually need to, right click on the chest you want to join to when doing this, by the way. That would make them into a double chest rather than 2 singles. But I really like now how they've changed the game to allow you to place chests next to each other like this. It makes building a lot easier, especially in terms of storage areas and storage rooms. Okay, after I give you the tip, I don't even follow my own advice, which is amazing. There we go. And we can just finish it up by adding a few more into there. And that is our first storage area. So I was thinking that we're going to have 2 of these, one here, one here. Now I'm not so sure because that is a ton of storage right there. So in essence now what you want to do is you want to create some of those fence posts. So we got 6 here. That is enough. So then you can just stick them in like so. So the fences are a divider, but they also act as a place where you can place signs. So let me grab some signs or craft some if we don't have any. I don't believe we have any, so let's just create some here. Bit of wood. 6 wood at the top, wood at the bottom. Craft 6, that will be enough for us. So then what you're going to want to do is you basically just place a sign down. Then for example here, this is going to be where we store our building blocks like we did in the last Let's Play. So that means now in my head that each of these chests on this row are going to be for building blocks. So any building blocks we may have, I just pop in there like so. And that's how I build my basic storage system. So this obviously isn't complete. This isn't going to be my main storage system. This is just what I usually do in the entrance to my base, just to ensure that I've got space to place things when I need it. So then we can go ahead up here. I think we had in this chest in the last one, we had our ores, ingots, and minerals, I'll just say, for redstone, lapis, all that type of stuff. So let's just transfer that across into its new home. I think now though I will actually uncraft these because there's no point in having all of it in blocks when we've got so much space. And that's the wrong chest. Note to self, wrong chest. So let's get these guys in there like so. Then we can also uncraft the redstone. Stick that in there, in here. So as I mentioned, there is really no point in having it in blocks when we've got all of this space, so that is why I'm uncrafting it. Then we can uncraft our lapis, that can go ahead and get put in the chest. Then iron can go in. Got quite a bit of iron right now, so that's good, because once we start making redstone projects and things similar, we're going to lose that very quickly. But that's our ores, ingots and minerals chest for now. We've got quite a lot of good stuff in there, which is nice. Then next step up, I think I had... what did I have? I had food and agriculture. So in this chest I generally keep all food items, obviously, and then anything to do with agriculture, so seeds, saplings, flowers, anything of that variety will go in this chest. So let me just take all of this over there. So that looks about right to me, and we can put all of that away in our food and agriculture chest, very simply. Then the next step up was mob loot. So mob loot, that's just for anything that mobs drop. So you know, you can see over here I've got some string, bone, gunpowder, rotten flesh, spider eyes, arrows, ender pearls will go in there as well. So that's for everything that is dropped by a mob. That includes passive mobs, so leather, ink sacks, things like that will also go in there. And then finally at the top we just have a misc items chest. So this is for everything that doesn't fall into one of the other categories. So from this chest you're looking at saddles, horse armor, records, signs even fall under there, ladders fall under there, doors, flint, tools, buckets. So pretty much the remainder of things in here is going to go in there. So we can just dump the rest of that in there. So usually I like to section off my pickaxes, especially if I'm going to be using them. But everything else doesn't really require sectioning. We can just stick that in as and when. So there we go. Let's put this in there. And we have organized all of our chests. So that is perfect. We now have a little storage area in the entrance to our base, which we can utilize now by transferring all of this across. But I will do that off camera because I don't want to bore you guys. Anyway, as for this episode, that is it. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and being with me today. I always appreciate you spending your time to watch my videos. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like down below. Drop a comment with any feedback you may have, positive, negative, neutral, any questions, any suggestions, just drop them down below. I will read them all. Also, if you did like this series and did like this video and you haven't subscribed to me yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and there's an optional click of the bell notification icon, and if you press that, you'll just get notifications from YouTube when my videos go live. So if that's something you may be interested in, then be sure to hit that button. Anyway, guys, once more, thank you very much for watching and being with me today. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.